the Hawks are actually considering moving Trae Young in the offseason as opposed to DeJounte Murray.
It
Yeah, it's
makes sense,
interesting.
and it doesn't make sense.
It's interesting how they flipped, and now instead of looking to move Murray, they're looking to move Trae Young. To me, this is like we're looking to get people out rather than bring them in, and we're giving up on any shot of winning in the near future.
They know they're not going to win with Trae Young alone, and they could get more pieces for Trae since he's averaging
Hmm.
27 and 10 than they could
Yeah,
get for Murray, who's very inconsistent this year.
I think they're moving more towards the rebuild stage rather than the win now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a little bit of an interesting thing because where do they go from here, right? The Hawks.
Hmm.
It kind of, I think they kind of reached their potential 3 seasons ago when they got to the conference finals
Yep.
and everybody played as well as they could. But there was really a lot of factors that played into the Hawks getting there. And it was really more so the other teams beating themselves. It's like when they beat the
Hmm.
Knicks in the first round and they beat them in 5 games. Did the Hawks really beat the Knicks, or did Julius Randle and RJ Barrett have horrible series? And did the Knicks
Yeah.
not have a legitimate point guard? You know what I mean? That was
Yep.
kind of really that. Then they got to that game 7 against the Sixers in the second round, and that was when Ben Simmons completely forgot how to play basketball. His confidence was gone. And so it really was that
Nothing new
hit,
there.
and then you go to the conference finals and they lost to the Bucks, who would go on to win the championship. So I mean, they kind of reached their potential there. They've trended downwards since then. They haven't been able to build on that. I think blowing it up is a solid move for them because if they trade
I agree
Trae
too.
Young, there's I don't know which team is going to be looking to grab him. You have a few options out there, but like a team like the Lakers, for example, which I
Hmm.
mean we can get into like should the Lakers even do that, but they would be rumored to be in that conversation because the Lakers are going to apparently this offseason they'll have 3 first round picks to trade.
Yep.
And if you can get three
They're,
first round picks for Trae Young, I think he might be worth a little bit more than that, but I don't know if there's really a market for him like that.
you would give D'Angelo.
You give
You,
D'Angelo Russell
you would chip
probably a
Russell too.
salary and 3 first round picks. They can do
But I
that.
mean, you brought up, do the Lakers even do this? And to me, I don't think they're in the position to really go out and get somebody like Trae Young. I mean, the Lakers' window to win is really closing. You have LeBron's contract coming up to an end. I'm not entirely sure when Davis's contract is up. Is he
He's
coming up
he's
anytime soon?
extended.
You
He's
know?
well extended, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
He's
he's well
yeah.
extended. So I mean, Davis is stuck there. But outside of LeBron and Davis, I mean, you don't really have any powerhouse people or to really go for a championship there. I wouldn't go for it if I'm the Lakers. I think you keep your picks and look to the future.
Especially if you think LeBron's definitely leaving. You don't want
Yeah.
to pair Trae Young with Anthony Davis when you had LeBron and AD. I would keep the
Hmm.
picks too.
Yeah.
Look for an up and coming shooting guard, maybe a power forward too.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
And
you have to be under the impression that LeBron's leaving.
Where I would go if I'm Trae Young is the Spurs. Pair that
That
with
is very
pair that
true.
and they
pair
would
that
have
with
the
Wemby.
assets to do it.
Yep. Spurs
Still
have
have
plenty of
the point guard.
assets. You get this giant freak of nature, some help. I mean, this guy is putting up ungodly numbers.
Yo, triple
Last
double with
night,
blocks last night.
last night was ridiculous. The man put up, what did he put up? 27, 14, 5, and 10 with 2 steals.
That's
I
crazy.
mean,
10 blocks.
we haven't we
Insane.
haven't seen the likes of this in years.
Since David Robinson, another
David
super.
Robinson was the last quadruple double. You guys think he's got one in him this year?
A quadruple double? I
Quadruple
don't
double this year.
I don't know
Maybe
if he
not
can
this
get the
year.
assists because he
I
doesn't
don't
have any
know.
good teammates.
That's
If Trae
true. You
Trae
get
Young's
some
on a
help.
team, if Trae Young's on
You
a
get
team
some
that can
help
get
from him,
10-10.
and
I can
I
see
could
the
see it
Spurs winning
happening.
10-10.
I could see it happening. But the fact, even more impressive than anything else, I mean, this guy's a rookie and he's putting up 20 points a game.
He's
You don't
also
see that from rookies typically.
Yeah,
he's also a 7-5 shooter. He could shoot the three, and he's 7'5".
Exactly. I mean, this year he's shooting what, 30, 35% from three?
yeah, he's shooting
He's going
well.
crazy.
He started the year pretty rough.
Hmm.
And
Also,
he's
Popovich formed him.
right, and
Yeah.
he's come into his own a bit. I think really what it comes down to is now that he's comfortable, the Spurs know what they have, and they know that this guy he's going to be, a top 10, top 5 player in the NBA within the coming years. Not right now, obviously. He's not at an all-star level yet, but he's close.
I mean, where do you put him right now, though? Now that you're on it,
Right now, I would
do
say
you put him in top 30?
Well, top 30. I think that the top 24 all-stars.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think he's on the cusp.
Top 40 for sure.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
see.
just outside that bunch.
Yeah, he's right outside that. As a rookie,
Well, he's definitely
19. It's
well. If you took the single top player from each team, that'd be what, top 30, top 30.
Top 30.
So yeah, and then you're counting like Booker and Durant on the same team, so maybe that's 2. So yeah,
There's a couple teams though here and there.
There's a lot of teams that
got
have
2
multiple
people.
players.
So anywhere from like 30 to 40.
Yeah, no, I think he's right outside the door of being put in that conversation. I think he's got plenty of All-Star game appearances to come.
I was gonna say next year for sure. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps this up, maybe gets some help, get a little bit more eyes on him with a better team, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be making it.
Yeah, he'll definitely make it next year because I think the Spurs will make a move this offseason because they do need a point guard. I was thinking because there was a lot of like potential options for the Spurs for a point guard. I was thinking when Emmanuel Quickley was on the Knicks and there was a risk of him hitting restricted free agency that the Spurs would go try to grab him when that time came, but I don't think that would happen now. I think Trae Young might be the guy because you go out there, you get an all-star point guard. That pick and roll would be disgusting, and then you surround those two with some shooters and defenders. That obviously the problem with Trae Young is he's a traffic cone on defense. He's not good at all.
Yeah, but he's also aren't a lot of his stats for defensive rating because the rest of his team isn't that great at defending either. So help defense, isn't that considered part of stats? Or are you just talking like on ball?
His individual defense is garbage. He's not a good defender. He's one of the worst defenders in the NBA. He's made the defenders around him worse. Like, how you have certain players that make guys around them better? He's made the defenders around them worse. Like DeJounte Murray, for example, who they're intending on potentially keeping. He was one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA when he was on the Spurs, and then the Hawks acquired him, and now he's all of a sudden not, that top tier defender. He's still a good defender, but
because you're left picking up the slack.
He's picking up all the slack from Trae Young because he doesn't play defense. He's not good at it. So to me, but if you get some good defenders and you have Wemby there in the paint on offense, if you take those two guys, maybe you get another guy that can score. And they have guys that have Vassell.
Yep.
They have good.
I think
players.
like a traditional wing catch and shoot guy plus Trae would be a scary combination on the Spurs.
And they have those type of players. They're just young.
Yeah.
So if they can develop that, acquire Trae Young, because it's really what they're missing is a point guard. That's what they.
Yeah, if you've seen footage of the Spurs, I mean, there's so many times you could point to where Wemby is open and he's just not getting the ball. Yeah, nobody sees him, and that's due to a lack of a point guard. Especially Trae Young. I mean, he's putting up, 12 assists per game?
He's one of the best passers in the NBA. His court vision's ridiculous.
Put Chris Paul on the team with Trae Young.
Chris Paul's washed.
Yeah, he's a little washed.
I don't think Chris Paul's got another maybe 1-2 years in the league, and then that's it for him.
I think he's retired after this year. I think he's having a horrible year. I think he's done. I think he's gonna.
Well, he's also been out for the past month.
Yeah,
month and a half.
It's a sign. I think he's done.
It's his time.
Especially he's not even making money anymore. Really, he's playing on minimum contracts. It's over. The dream is dead.
Yeah.
You know what would have been great though, if you would have got Chris Paul, maybe the Chris Paul of 3 years ago. When you could have got him for cheap. He was still productive. That would have been fantastic to get him on that team, but obviously that's not possible.
He's long gone.
So, I mean, the thing is though with the Lakers, because obviously the Lakers are rumored to be a team that would go after Trae Young. If they lose LeBron, there's no purpose because they might as well just keep those picks and try rebuilding.